Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. Today's episode should be short and sweet. I want to tie it up the week. I've put a lot of good material out there this week, at least from what I can see, based on your comments and your feedback and the thumbs up and the likes and the subscribes. I appreciate the data. It helps me understand what's important to you, and that helps me kind of culture the pearls here so that I have something to say that actually is going to resonate with you. So today's response is going to come from a question Blazin put up on a video that was called Use This System Trading Rule to Keep More of Your Profits. In that video, I was saying that there's evidence for some of your momentum style trading models where you might find yourself in any number of names at the same time, 3, 4, 5, 6 instruments. And because of the natural order of things and how markets work, you can find that there's a deluge of buying power that are coming into the majority of those names, in which case you can see the equity on your account. Remember, I've said trade your equity curve, start to, burgeon. And then I said from a backtesting standpoint, as opposed to having a protective stop on each and every one, which you should have anyway, in terms of making money and keeping profits, you'll have to backtest this based on your rules. But I have seen evidence in certain systems where it makes sense that when the first instrument starts to weaken and gets stopped, that could be a trigger for you to actually exit all the other names as well. Because there will be a natural ebb and flow of things. This is obviously a swing trader style idea. It is not a trend follower, because you wouldn't get into a name for one day and stay and puke it out at 3 days, right? If there's just a modest pullback. So it's a different mindset. But for those of you who are, swing trading, taking things home overnight, taking things home over the weekend, and are taking advantage, based on these momentum pushes, if you will, there is evidence that trading the basket and, piecemealing your way in, both to the individual positions, adding to your winners perhaps, but then also you could trade the basket. It's a little technical to talk without charts, and you need a system to do it. But that's what I was getting at. Now, Blazin said, thanks again, appreciate the insight. When you say puke out the whole thing, that means that in every position, every share of every instrument that's in your portfolio goes. Does this mean going into each position and entering a limit sell? Nope. Those orders would be sell stops, not limits. I don't use limits, and I don't think you should either. Because when you're long, a sell limit would be above the market, and that would mean you have a price target. Your sell stop goes below to protect your capital. That's what I'm talking about. So you need to know the difference between stops and limits. They're very different orders. So limit, as far as I'm concerned, isn't, look, if you're trading a gigantic fund and you need, you heard Gordon Gekko, right, when he gave Bud Fox the first order, that was a limit order. When he said 3/8 tops, that's the limit. Slippage and skid can matter if you're moving gigantic amounts of inventory. With decimalization and things trading in fractions of cents, basically, the number of slippage and skid for the average person watching this show should not be an issue. Right? Again, if your account is underfunded, you feel every little breeze as a hurricane. I get that. But that's not anything I can help somebody with when their account is underfunded. So, again, it's a swing trading idea. You put the orders in, and you could look for one of the names, maybe two of them. You'll have to back test this yourself to see where the momentum is stalling, and then when the momentum starts to stall, everybody leaves the party at the same time, right? So that's the way that you would do it. It's a great idea to backtest. I think I've done it from time to time. I wouldn't call myself a swing trader, but I know it's doable because I have done extensive testing in trading baskets of securities instead of just trading one at a time. Because this is I know just from an emotional standpoint, if you're a person who trades one instrument, your whole life kind of hangs on that instrument. And you can find yourself coming into the market every day like, man, I hope something happens today. And I have 7 different types of trades that I could put on this one instrument. And to me, it's like if the instrument's not trending, then I don't care about the 7 instruments or the 7 strategies. You know what I mean? Like, so again, it's a different mindset. You have to do what you think is best. Maybe your account is funded a certain way where you can't really trade other names because you don't have enough money. It's a tough spot to be in. But again, you could be blinded by, a lot of opportunity cost when you're underfunded. So find a way to get the money and beef up your account if you can. Anyway, that's the ethos of where this type of strategy comes from, is that it's a momentum gathering strategy. And when the momentum's over, then everyone has to leave the party at the same time. You could use that any number of ways to stop out of the trade. You could, put in a protective stop for one particular name, or actually all the names have protective stops. And then when one of those orders gets filled, then you just sell the rest of the positions at market and cancel, of course, all those other protective stops. So a little bit more detail there. Hope that helps explain things, but that's where it goes in the trading course. We go over that with, greater detail, but it's a different format. I've got the simulators up, and you can see where the momentum ebbs and flows, but it's not something I can do here. Anyway, hope you had a great day. There'll be an episode tomorrow with Ganja, and then I will see you again Thursday and Friday of this week, and then I'm going to take a bit of a break, and I'll see you again in early January. Thanks for being here. Take care.